Andy was meant to be on the show, but he's had some technical difficulties, so he's not here, which is an absolute shame. But it's fine. We've got me. So what we'll do is we'll kind of run down the card of Payback. I've got it here in front of me. And don't forget, if you're obviously on YouTube, I'm keeping an eye on the comments and stuff. If you're on YouTube, do comment. Let us know what you think of Payback. So I'm just going to get Andy on the phone because he's having some technical issues. So this should be interesting to hear what he has to say. This was not how I planned the show. Just wanted to say that. He's probably not picking up because he's pissed off. Hey! What's up, buddy? We're live. We're live right now. I've gone solo until you're here.
Thank you. Windows 10 can actually go suck on my fucking bollocks. Like 5 minutes before we're set to go live, Windows is like, LOL, need to update now. No, not now. Do it in 2 hours. Why now? I mean, it wasn't like a script. Oh, good, it's working. You stupid bloody machine. God damn, right. Add me when you can. I'll text you when you should add me. What are we talking about?
Well, we're talking about Payback, obviously.
Well, yes. What part are we up to?
I don't think this is a great way to keep you on the show, so I might let you go and see if I can wing this by myself.
Okay, I have faith in you. I don't have faith in Bill Gates. You can fuck off.
I don't know if people are picking this up. I don't know if they're hearing this.
Who cares?
Okay. Anyway, hopefully Andy will be joining us in a bit. I'll speak to you soon. Let me know when you're back, when your technical issues are over.
Okay, XOXO, bye.
All right, bye. So yes, Andy is having issues, and I've just dropped my phone, which is great. This is live, as you can tell. So one of the things that I kind of want to discuss is, oh god, everything's just happening. Sorry. Okay, one of the things I want to discuss is that Vince McMahon. They've come out and said that Vince McMahon's got an announcement to make on tonight's show, and a lot of people are speculating that it's going to be the return of the brand split. Because I want to talk about this, and I wonder if it's actually a good idea. And the thing is, they introduced a brand split in 2002, just as a little history. In fact, that's actually when I started to get into it. One of the first shows that I watched, it wasn't the very first, but one of the first actual shows that I really watched and sat down that I can really remember was the episode of the brand split. Ric Flair took Raw, Vince McMahon took SmackDown, and I didn't really get what was happening. I didn't know of WCW or ECW. I didn't know what happened with the invasion in 2001. I didn't get any of that. But I understand why they did it looking back. They had like 3 times the size of a normal roster. It was insane how big it was. So they kind of needed to do that. And it was also another way for WWE in their own mind to try and make competition out of themselves. Raw would be its own separate entity, SmackDown would be its own separate entity, and then the two would kind of compete. It was kind of like a makeshift WCW or ECW or just makeshift other promotion that WWE could kind of compete with, even though it owns it, so they can maximize its profits and make competition. And I get that, and you can debate whether it was successful or not. I mean, I think it was successful to a certain extent. I think it worked in that it gave each show a very different feel. You would see only stars on one show on like a Monday, or other stars on a SmackDown on which would be a Thursday or a Friday. And I get that worked. And then when obviously they had the drafts, you might have someone from Raw jump to SmackDown to Raw. And I completely get that. I don't quite understand why they need it now. It's over 10 years since the brand split originally first got implemented. I don't really understand why it would be needed now. I don't. Raw, I mean, one of the reasons why they got rid of it was because they over the 9 years since they did it, their roster had just decreased dramatically. Well, maybe not dramatically, but it had decreased. There wasn't as many people. So I do wonder why they need it, because I can't see there being a specific reason. Like, and the other thing as well is that SmackDown used to be considered one of the top shows that WWE had. Now it's very much the B brand. It's very much the kind of, oh, to me it feels like, oh, we've got a contract, we can't get out of it, we've got to make this show. You know, when somebody needs, when they're doing Raw or SmackDown overseas and they're traveling over, they always split up in two, and then like the WWE champion is never on the SmackDown show because he's often touring in Europe or whatever. I don't really get why they need a brand split, to be honest, but that seems to be what people are saying. It's been in the rumor mill for a long time. I think it's a waste, frankly, if they do it. It's just not needed, in my personal opinion. But you know, if you guys agree or disagree, let us know. Write it in the comments. I'll be keeping an eye out on things. So that'll be interesting. I don't know what else they could announce. Maybe he has another illegitimate child. That was a storyline that went nowhere. That could happen. The other major thing, Finn Balor obviously dropped the NXT title at TakeOver Dallas on I think it was a Friday before WrestleMania. So no, it wasn't. I was completely wrong. Sorry. Obviously with everything all the technical issues that are going on, I've been very distracted. No, Finn dropped the title only a few days ago or weeks ago or whatever. He dropped the title to Samoa Joe at a live show in Minneapolis, I believe. I don't know American states, so I do apologize on that respect. So he dropped the title to Samoa Joe, and many people have thought that maybe this is Finn's debut on Payback. We spoke about this, me, Andy, and Sam. We kind of touched upon this on the last episode of the Suplah, where we kind of discussed Samoa Joe and him winning the title and what it could mean for Finn. And we kind of said maybe he's going to show up at Payback. And that seems to be one of the big kind of theories going around at the moment, that he's going to show up at Payback because he didn't drop it in Dallas. And then obviously they've filmed like a month's worth of tapings at WrestleMania Access. So it's not going to be on there. So it kind of is that sort of thing. We said it in a previous, in the last episode of the Suplah, they kind of force title drops when something's happening, like someone's been suspended, someone's been fired, someone's injured, someone's going to the main roster. So that's kind of the theory, that he's dropped the title at a live show, not because it was some sort of WWE, oh, look, anything can happen at a live show. It's that Finn's going to go to the main roster, and it's going to be tonight. Whether that's true or not, we have yet to find out, of course, on tonight's show. But something has happened between the time we recorded the show on Wednesday night to now doing this live on YouTube. Something has happened. William Regal came out and said at the next major TNA, wow, I'm so sorry to NXT there. It's the next major NXT event. Finn's going to get a rematch against Samoa Joe for the title. Now, I wonder, to me, because again, Sam was playing sort of devil's advocate. He was saying, well, maybe not. He might get a rematch for the belt. And, well, it's confirmed he's getting a rematch for the belt. But does this stop him going to Payback? Or will he do what something like, I don't know, Big E, for example. Big E was the NXT champion and then debuted on the main roster. Kevin Owens was the NXT champion and then debuted on the main roster. And there's also NXT guys kind of linger about in NXT whilst they just start their debut. Like Sami Zayn even competed at TakeOver Dallas the 2 days before WrestleMania against Nakamura. So it's not unheard of that these guys can go to the main roster but still hang around on NXT. It's not unheard of at all. Heck, even the Shield, they debuted on the main roster in Survivor Series 2012 and still came back to NXT every now and then. So it's not unheard of at all. Would I want him to debut? I don't know. The thing is that I think, most people will be like, yes, we want him to debut on the main roster. We do. And I understand that. But Finn's done so well in NXT. He's kind of become their poster boy in a way. If Finn does leave NXT for the, well, not does, he will eventually, but when he does leave NXT for the main roster, I don't know about anyone else, but I will feel like a major part of the NXT identity is gone. Because I mean, I know it's the developmental. I get that. I do. I understand that they're there to, you know, kind of get them ready for the main roster. I completely get that. But with how popular NXT has become, more so than I think any developmental system that WWE's had previously, more so than anyone in FCW or OVW or DSW or anything like that, NXT's kind of been brought. It's no, I don't see it really as a developmental system anymore. I see it as a third brand. That's kind of the way I see it, and I think it can live as a third brand. I don't think everyone who is hired to WWE has to necessarily graduate through NXT. I think you can have stars who are simply NXT stars, because it's kind of this thing. I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, because we did go to NXT in December and it, you know, it was great. But the idea that you're building stars in NXT is fine. But like when in FCW, for example, that was just a very small promotion that not very many people even saw. I don't think it was on national television. I think it was only on like very close circuit television in Florida, and that was it. So that was fine. It would never toured. It never did anything major. But NXT, it tours like America, it toured London and England in general. Like, it is an actual major brand. And then you build these stars in NXT and they become the face of that brand, and then you just snatch them away. That to me just seems very odd, because okay, the positive is that NXT is constantly creating new champions, but the negative is that who's to say that when a ticket goes, like there's tickets that are on sale now for a tour that they're doing in a few months. Who's to say Finn's even going to be on that card? Who's to say Samoa Joe's even going to be there, or Austin Aries, and that's the issue that I have. You might have some of these major stars on NXT, but then obviously the main roster is going to pluck them away, put them on their card, and then who have you got? You don't even have Baron Corbin anymore. He's gone to the main roster. You know, you've got, what's his name? Fucking Apollo Crews. Like the most bland. Oh my God. He's the most bland, most boring character. I think Sam put this best. He's a modern day Rocky Maivia. He is. That's what he is. He's just a happy-go-lucky, he's just so happy to be there. There's a moth in my room. I don't know why that's there. He's just so happy to be there, and it's boring. That's not what we're talking about. I don't think Apollo Crews is on the card tonight. But that's why, like, I think it's inevitable he will debut, and you know, they're definitely going to do this Bullet Club reunion in WWE. WWE seems to be desperate to kind of do the Bullet Club, but they don't have the rights to the Bullet Club. They don't have all the members of the Bullet Club because, who is it that they don't like? There's a group in the Bullet Club that they don't like. I'm completely blanking on their name. If Andy was here, I'm sure he'd be able to help me out. But they're desperate to get the Bullet Club, but they've got the main guys from the Bullet Club. They've got Finn, they've got AJ, and they've got Anderson and Gallows. You know, if they can get Kenny Omega there, then as far as I'm aware, they've got a decent stable. So you know that they want to do that. You know that they'll want to bring this group together in WWE. But the question is, what will they go with? Will AJ be turning heel and joining Gallows and Anderson and reforming the Bullet Club? Or will AJ continue to, you know, be not knowledgeable of what they're doing, and that it's in fact Finn that's pulling the strings, trying to get, I don't know, screw AJ out of the belt, or I don't know. I mean, it's very difficult. If you guys have any ideas, do let us know in the comments. Oh, hello. I think I've just got a text from Andy. Oh, he's here, apparently. Let me just see if I can add him to the call. This is where we find out I don't know how to add people. This is where we find... Oh, yes, I do. Hang on. Let me see if I can get him. There he is. Yes, we'll be bringing him on. So anyway, yes. So Finn possibly debuting. Kind of don't want him to, but I think it's inevitable. And then obviously the the other major thing, there's three major things. There's polls on the actual YouTube page itself, by the way. Feel free to join in. The poll is on the potential brand split. It's on the Finn Balor possibly debuting. And it's also on the next one, which is, of course, the main event of the show. It's AJ versus Roman, WWE title on the line. I don't think anybody is expecting AJ to walk out with a belt. I'd be genuinely shocked if anybody actually is putting money on AJ. And I'll talk about putting money on in a minute, because I always put money on a pay-per-view. And I've put it on Roman because I don't know. I don't think that Roman, that AJ is going to walk out with the belt. I think it's going to be impossible. I think we've got Andy here.
You know what's impossible? Not getting stressed out when Windows 10 decides to update 5 minutes before you're supposed to do a live show.
It's fine. I've kind of been holding my own somewhat for 20 minutes.
Bill Gates can fuck off. He can
so
do one.
I've tried my best. So I've kind of discussed. I'll kind of go quickly back over what I've discussed. The brand split. Do you think it's happening?
Sadly, yes. And I don't understand why, to be honest, because
okay,
everyone gets injured. Like, their roster is the thinnest it's ever been. I could understand back in the day. You just bought WCW, yeah? So your
This is exactly
huge.
what I said. It's exactly what I said.
You need 2 brands, but you don't have anyone.
No.
So what are you doing? Stop, Vince.
Yeah, I don't understand why they're doing a brand split. I don't. And I've said that. I said that. I tried to explain. I wasn't very articulate because obviously everything that had happened and I'm trying to do everything. I was like, I can't do this. But eventually you came back. Yeah, I don't know what to suggest. I don't know why they're doing this. I don't know why they are thinking of this. People seem to be convinced that a brand split's coming back, but do they need a brand split? No. I think they've barely got any stars as it is. So I don't understand what they're planning to do here.
I don't get it. Like, just get rid of the authority. It's been around. We've said this. It's been around for over 3 years. Just get.
Well, hang on. We're missing the elephant in the room here.
Okay,
right. We're missing the elephant in the room.
My crap laptop.
Shane McMahon returns.
Here come the money.
Makes a grand return, right? Stop Stephanie getting the People of the Billion Year Award ceremony universe. I'm the greatest egotistical Vince McMahon awards for a storyline thing, right?
Right.
Shane's out and he's like, you suck. This sucks. Everything sucks, right? So Vince is like, okay, well, John Cena's injured and I need a match for The Undertaker, so this is what I'm going to do, Shane.
Right.
I tell you what, if you go off and beat The Undertaker, you can take control of Raw. Not SmackDown. This is where I think the brand split rumors lie. You can take control of Raw.
Right.
Okay, great. And if The Undertaker loses, he will not have another WrestleMania match, which doesn't make sense because surely if Shane's in charge, he can overwrite. I don't know. There's logic, plot holes. Anyway, regardless, we come to WrestleMania. It's the Hell in a Cell match. It wasn't as hardcore as we all thought it would be. I think we were all a little disappointed. But then again, what do you expect when the guys are in their 50s and 40s?
The fact he jumped off the cell is a miracle.
Yes. Anyway, at the end of it, Undertaker won, right? Shane doesn't get control of Raw, right? It's over. Undertaker wins. It's over. Authority is still in charge. The next night, Shane gets given Raw. Okay. Bit weird.
Yep.
Okay. The next week. Yep. Okay. He's still in charge. The week after. This is 3 weeks. Or 2 weeks, whatever. I can do maths. After WrestleMania, Shane's still in charge. So hang on. So Shane, regardless of winning or losing, Shane got to run Raw anyway.
Yep, pretty much.
So what was the point of the match?
The fuck knows. You tell me. I don't know. I mean, like, It was the most pointless main event match, well, main event or major stipulation match probably in history, because it's like, oh hey, you know, we've got this magical stipulation and we're going to add the Undertaker in for some reason, but he can't lose because it's WrestleMania, even though he's already lost. What was the point? What was the point?
I don't understand what the point of that was, right? So I don't even remember what what brought us on to that. But Shane gets control of Raw, and he stays control of it for like a month. And now, it was also bullshit because Vince was just like, "Yeah, I'll just give you a shot, even though you lost." And I said, "I'd never do this." That doesn't make what? No. And then apparently Shane's being in charge of Raw made Twitter go nuts because they can't say ratings because the ratings weren't anything special, and they know that. So they were like, "Oh, the Twitter's gone nuts. Social media loved Shane." Oh, really? Because I think most of social media was like, "Why is Shane in charge when he lost?"
Yeah, like,
what was the point of the match?
It was just, you can tell this was all booked the same day, because if you had long-term planning and a vision, you'd be like, that would be really stupid if we do what we're about to do. But they were like, fuck it, wing it. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it didn't make sense. So I really don't want them to start a brand split. And I understand people are like, oh, well, you know, if you do a brand split, then maybe you can have Raw, like some people on Raw become stars and some people on SmackDown become stars. But that doesn't really work, in my opinion, when you've got a unified world title, because then they're not really brand splits. That's why as soon as the tag titles got unified and they could be put on both brands, the brand split started to fall apart.
Yeah.
Right. That to me was when it started to get killed. And then they unified. No. They said that, oh, it's now the Raw Super Show, so SmackDown stars can show up. And then they unified the world titles. And they unified the women's titles years before that. Like, and they just unified a lot of things. And it just, that's why they never officially announced the brand split was gone. It just stopped.
Yeah.
One could argue that it is technically still in effect.
Oh, that's
because they've never officially cancelled it.
That's gonna be Vince's logic, isn't it? It never went away, damn it!
It never went away.
A bit like me, I won't go away.
So I don't know. I hope we don't have that, but we'll have to wait and see. The other thing that I was discussing before you came back was Finn Balor. Prince Devitt.
You not pronounce his name? I don't get it. Like
his lame. Can't pronounce his fucking lame.
I've had the most stressful 10 minutes.
So I'm. There's rumors that he's going to show up tonight. He's going to debut. What do you think?
I think he's going to debut because you don't take the belt off him on a house show for no reason. And like
hang on, I was discussing this amongst myself because no one else was here. I was discussing this with myself. The thing is that Finn has been announced to be the next challenger for Samoa Joe's title at an NXT Takeover event.
Right.
Now, I have argued also. Again, I'm sorry for anyone who's been listening to the show or watching the show since the beginning. I have to kind of go over things because Andy was missing. I did explain that, yes, Big E was the NXT champion and still debuted on the main roster. Kevin Owens was the NXT champion and still debuted on the main roster. And even people who have debuted on the main roster have gone back and forth between NXT. Most recently, Sami Zayn, his last NXT match was at TakeOver Dallas, which was, a month ago. And he technically debuted back in the summer, ignoring the amount of injury time he had. He technically debuted back in the summer of 2015. So it's not unheard of, but you think he's going to debut. What do you think is going to happen?
It's going to be like a DQ fuck finish. Like, literally, I think what will happen is I'm just updating all my social media to say I'm back. Then there's no need to worry about me. But, like, I can see AJ's like, I'm not your friends, to Anderson and Gallows. I'm not your friends. And then you just, let's go out. Dun, dun, dun. And then he just comes out and...
What was that?
Shit out of AJ.
What was that? Sorry, what was that?
That was the... The Finn Balor thing. The thing that
Sorry,
I freaked out Finn Balor doing. That's the Finn.
What?
Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da. That bit. Oh no, this goes da, and then goes wah. It's that bit. It's that bit.
I'm sorry. Are you thinking of another theme song? Because I don't know anyone who has that theme. Is that someone in TNA who has that? Because no one has that music.
Did someone spike my tea? Like I feel.
To be fair, he is hungover, ladies and gents, because he got a piece of news this past week. He was very happy with. I don't know. It's not my place to announce what it was.
No.
So he's very drunk. Anyway,
I'm not drunk. I had
pregnant.
I'm having a baby.
So I don't know. I think it could go one of two ways.
Right.
One way is that he debuts. The other way is that he doesn't debut. That's kind of...
Quality A-grade journalism from Liam.
No, right? No, hear me out. Obviously he debuts, and he's the one behind Anderson and Gallows, and it's a DQ finish. Roman retains, although not cleanly. So I don't know if that means it's a Roman heel turn or what. I don't see them having Roman win dirty unless he's a babyface.
It's just going to be a DQ, and Roman will just move on to the next person, and Finn and AJ will feud. That will be it.
Well, no, actually, it was reported on the Suplah. If anyone listens or watches, because you can't listen to our website, can you? You read. But if you go on the Suplah, we actually announced. Well, we didn't announce, but we said that there's a spoiler that potentially the main event for the next pay-per-view has been revealed, which is Extreme Rules, and rumors are abound that it's AJ Styles versus Roman Reigns in a steel cage match. Now, the title hasn't been announced to even be on the line. Obviously, it will be. But, I mean, neither of them have been announced as a champion. Neither of them, it hasn't been announced to be a title match. It's just right now, apparently on paper, Roman Reigns, AJ Styles, steel cage. So there's definitely going to be an interference. That's the only reason why you put a steel cage in, because somebody, AJ or Roman, is going to get screwed by an interference. That's going to happen. And that's why they want a steel cage. But will it be that AJ is playing dumb and he was behind Anderson and Gallows, or are they going to screw AJ and it's going to be revealed that Finn is behind it and he tried to recruit AJ back into the I don't know, Breakfast Club?
Don't you forget about me. No, I think I don't know, like,
because that's the only really two that I can think of. That's the only branching path of storyline I can think. I don't know what I'm doing here.
Yeah, what in the hell are you, like, doing the breaststroke? What the fuck are you doing? The butterfly?
We must stress that it's not very often when we do the show that me and Andy can actually see each other. It's only on a live show that we can actually see each other on webcam. It does
freak me out. It's freaking me out. I don't like it. But no. I think if anyone's gonna get fucked over, it's gonna be AJ, because you like. Oh,
well, no. I don't know. Not necessarily. They might jump out and attack Roman. So Roman gets the win via DQ, and then AJ can be like, "What's going on? What are you doing?" And then they attack AJ because he starts I don't know. He starts fighting them. I'm doing what WWE does, which is booking on the fly here.
I don't know how they do it. It's fucking impossible.
Yeah, and then Finn's just like, "Hello, I'm back." I don't know why he says he's back. He's not debuted at all.
What the fuck accent? What accent was that?
Sorry, you can't even do his theme, so don't judge me on the accent.
No, I can do the theme, right? Dun 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 dun. Oh no, wait. Wah. That's his theme.
I feel sorry for anyone who's just joined the show during that. I'm very sorry. That's not what this show is.
I'm pretty sure it is, mate.
So I think we can pretty much both agree that Roman is walking out with the belt. Whether that means it's a clean win or a dirty win, we're not entirely sure. It depends what they're going to do with AJ, Gallows, Anderson, and possibly Balor. But I think we can both agree that Roman's walking out with the belt.
Yeah.
Yeah. They desperately want to make Roman look strong. I think they might be changing things on their idea of pushing him as a babyface because it's just not working.
No, this is the worst thing since Lex Luger. It really is, because they have tried so hard, but got so far. But in the end, it doesn't even matter. They've gone too far to lose it all. But in the end, it doesn't. Fuck Roman Reigns, right? God, he's the worst. He's the fucking worst. And
Okay, can I just play a little bit of fantasy booking here? It's not actually going to happen. I really don't think this is going to happen. But let's say that Finn doesn't debut, and during the match, Anderson and Gallows interfere, and they cost AJ the belt, and AJ starts beating them, and they start beating AJ, and then suddenly, I don't know, they start to overpower AJ, and then what happens? Right. So if Roman versus Cena happens, right, would that be the most over Cena would be since he was a rapper?
yes, it would.
Do you actually think that he would be cheered as a babyface?
I think what it would cause is it would cause a black hole in the middle of the ring, and it would cause all life to just get sucked in, because the world, space and time would just collapse in on itself, because no one would know what to do. So, you know, the entire universe would just collapse there and then. That's what will cause the end of the world. That. Because no one will know what to do. Like, people will be so conflicted. They'll be like, let's go see Rome, what? And then that's it. Like, everybody's heads just fucking explode. Like, no one will know.
That's the end of the universe.
Yeah, it's just a giant void, and that's it. There's nothing.
So, are you saying, right, that Cena and Roman in a ring together, one-on-one, that is basically a human Hadron Collider, or whatever it's called, the thing that can create the Big Bang?
Yes. It would literally, like, Stephen Hawking would be like, oh, fuck, I knew it, and then that's it. And that's the end. But
I wrote about this.
Cena sucks. Fuck you, Roman. And then just get sucked in. Like, literally, that's what would happen.
Is it bad that I would want to hear Stephen Hawking's voice box just say Cena sucks? Is that bad of me?
Could you just put it on Microsoft Sam, and would that do the same?
It's not the same. It's not the same.
I don't know.
It needs to come from his voice box.
God's sake. Right, so the point is, I don't know what would happen in that situation, because it is one of those things where everyone hates Cena, everyone hates Roman. It just be like, picture WrestleMania, but times about 5 billion. And world ending. And the world ending at the same time. That's what would happen.
What could happen? What would happen would be that either that crowd would be the loudest that it's been in a very, very, very long time, or no one will give a shit.
Or people are just going to start crying. It's just tears. It's going to make it stop. Stop it. Stop it. So, right. It's like Ralph going, kill it. It's already dead.
It's already done. Okay, moving on, because we've got the rest of the card to talk about. I've been kind of holding it off as long as I could. I only got to the main event. Next match to talk about: Charlotte versus Natalya, women's title on the line. Ric Flair obviously supporting his daughter, and then the ever so pleasant, ever so upbeat and happy Bret Hart will be there, because that man, he's just a joy to read all his interviews. Absolute joy. Has nothing but positive things to say.
He is the
What? What happened there? He's gone. I think his computer's died. Great. I'm going to have to handle this on myself again. His computer's dead again. Brilliant. It was great to have him for that 20 minutes, though. So it's just back to us, I guess. Bret Hart is going to be... I don't know. Look, right. Bret. I understand that the guy's had a lot of issues with the business. I do. I get that. You know, his family has been screwed over massively in the business. It has. They all have. He's seen, and not just his family, his friends, they've been kind of, drugs, alcohol, death is kind of a big thing that he's been around. Then he got screwed over by the company that he was loyal to with Vince McMahon. They went, is he back? Are you back?
I am convinced that the entire
I've got
world...
two Andrews. There's two Andrews. Oh, one's gone. Right. Okay. You're here now.
Am I here?
Yes,
Am I
you're
here this time?
You know what? We did a promo saying, "Do you enjoy it when things go wrong?"
Yeah.
I think we jinxed ourselves.
Yes, we did, and I was the one to say it. Look at this shit. Am I on?
You're on.
God,
We're good.
literally, it went as soon as I went. Bret Hart is a lovely man. Firefox has crashed. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yes. So as I was saying, Bret Hart, I was kind of going into it as you were dying. We're going into it. Bret is from an era where, his family kind of got fucked over by the wrestling business. His friends died. He saw a lot of drug abuse, alcohol abuse. Then, you saw the rise of people like Shawn Michaels. He didn't agree with the direction the company was going. Then he got screwed over by the company that he was loyal to. Well, I say loyal to, he did eventually leave. He signed the contract to go to WCW.
Right.
That, it's not like they screwed him and then he went to WCW. Like, they knew he was going to the WCW, and that's the reason why it all happened. Right? So either way, friends, Vince McMahon, Earl Hebner said that they weren't going to screw him, and they did it live television, main event in his hometown. He was obviously distraught about it. I don't think he's ever quite got over it. Then he went to WCW. And then Owen died in a stunt that allegedly he didn't really want to do. No, I wasn't there. I can't vouch whether that's true or not. So Owen died right in the middle of the ring. Then he gets kicked in the head by Goldberg. That caused him to have a stroke. The guy, I can see why he's so negative. I can. But... can you just be happy for once? Just please. Would it just kill you to just say, yeah, I'm looking forward to Payback? Would it just kill you to say that, Brett? I'm sorry. And I know he's just diagnosed with cancer, and I'm sorry. I know I feel really, really bad critiquing a man who has got cancer. I feel terrible.
I believe this is a new low for you. This is really a new low. If he's going through, like, chemo and stuff, is he gonna be like at Payback?
Well, he's at Payback. They've said he's at Payback.
He's a man who has cancer. What the fuck is he doing at a wrestling show?
Because they're gonna pay him money that can go towards his bills.
But still, if I had a serious terminal illness, I wouldn't want to be in a bloody room surrounded by 12,000 people. What the fuck?
Regardless, it's just, I don't think he's not a good ambassador for the industry anymore. And I understand he's got a bad relationship with it, but Brett, if you've got a bad relationship with it, don't do media appearances talking about it. Don't show up at Payback. You can't go on and critique everything the WWE does and then go on their show.
Yeah, but wait a minute, Mick Foley did that.
Yeah, but he's kind of come back and he critiques it, but not to the point that Brett does. Brett is just really he just says he basically doesn't care, whereas at least Mick is like, right, they're doing these things right, but these things wrong.
Also, Brett doesn't know what the company's called. I swear he keeps calling it WWF.
Probably, he does.
That's the panda thing!
But we're not talking about what we're supposed to be talking about, of course. Charlotte, Natalya, women's title, Charlotte's walking out with a belt.
Yeah, I don't care about this. I mean, like,
why
are they doing this?
Well, I think it's a bad decision. Like, I know I put my money on Charlotte, and I'm putting my money on Charlotte again. I put it on at WrestleMania, and that's because that's what I thought they would do. I had to think as to what WWE would do as opposed to what I would want to see. There's a difference there.
Exactly.
Becky Lynch should have walked out of WrestleMania with the championship belt, right?
Yeah.
Am I the only one who thinks that?
Oh no, Sasha should have.
No. Becky should have.
Sasha should have.
No. Becky should have.
No. Sasha should have.
What? What? You can't even speak.
Okay, look, Sasha should have.
Can you explain why? Because you're just kind of saying the same thing. This is the Bourbon incident all over again.
Because that's how it's pronounced. So the point is that like that was her time. She was the most over out of all three of them, and you know she's the best leader. So it makes more sense to give it to her. No offense to Becky, but still.
No, I don't buy that. No, I'm sorry. It makes more sense for Becky to do it because Sasha's kind of a tweener. Becky's the clear babyface, and Charlotte was a clear heel, and it should have been the babyface that goes over.
Yeah, but to that crowd, Sasha was a babyface. People were chanting her name, for God's sake.
Yeah, but no. Hang on. It's different, though. You can't say what the crowd thinks. You have to say what the creative thinks.
No, because according to Vince McMahon and the rest of the WWE...
No. Hang on. You can't just change the ending of a match because, oh, look, they're now chanting for Sasha. What should we do? Tell them to change the ending. Like, no, they have a storyline. And I think from a storyline point of view, it would have made more sense for Becky to win. It would have been more satisfying for Becky to win. Regardless of how you feel about her and Sasha, it makes more sense from a story point of view. You can't argue there. There's no argument. Don't talk, right? But I think Charlotte's going to walk out because I genuinely, it's sad because Natalya is probably one of the most talented women wrestlers they have, and they just do not take her seriously.
No, and I don't know why the fuck.
And it's sad.
Why would you still want to be there at this point? Why would you still want to be in that company? Because she's just been treated like a complete joke. She's like
she has.
She's a part of the Hart family, for God's sake. Like what the hell?
I think we can all say and all agree that the absolute lowest that things had sunk was when they gave her the flatulence gimmick.
Oh yeah. Or when
Ric Flair,
or when Ric Flair told her to go kill herself.
That happened.
Yeah, that happened. But no, the farting gimmick was the worst. I don't.
This is the niece of Bret the Hitman Hart, and they gave her a flatulence gimmick.
The same person who is related to Owen Hart, Jim the Anvil Neidhart. Oh, that's her dad. Is she related to the Bulldogs?
I think through law.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Okay. Like, and you gave her a gimmick where she can't control her bowels. Awesome. Good one, WWE.
And this is what I mean. I don't think they take her seriously, and I don't really understand why she's still there. Maybe it's because at this point, TNA is just a joke, and the brand is toxic. I don't know what women's wrestling is like in Japan. Maybe it's better. I don't know. Maybe she just doesn't want to go to Japan. There's obviously her own preferences, but they just don't treat her with any respect. Heck,
No.
She even went for the NXT Women's Championship against Charlotte, and she still lost. Okay, that's fine. That's the NXT Women's Championship. I get why she may have done the job there, but they do not treat her with any respect, and it's sad to watch. It really is. She deserves a run with the title. You want someone to be the face of the Divas division, or sorry, Women's division. Divas a dead term now. You want someone to be the Women's division, John Cena, I guess. Charlotte's a great option, and I'm not saying she's not, but you have Natalya, guys.
Yeah,
she can handle things. She doesn't have to always job to everybody.
Yeah, it's kind of sad, but
and it makes her look really bad if she keeps jobbing. I'm not saying that. Like, go on.
I forgot she even existed. Like before this,
Yeah.
I completely forgot. I thought she wasn't even there anymore, and I'm like,
you thought she was just Total Divas. That's all she existed for. Total Divas.
I didn't even know she was on that.
Oh well, there you go.
So
That's something you just learned.
I thought she was like fired or gone or released or something, and then there's like Natty Neidhart. I'm like, what? Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, it's. I just feel sorry for her, but Charlotte's going to be my pick. That's the one I've put my money on. What do you think?
Yeah, Charlotte.
Charlotte. So we're going to move on to the next match. This is, of course, the finals for the tournament to determine the number one contender for the WWE Tag Team Championship.
And you can't
Enzo and
teach
Big
that.
Cass versus the Vaudevillains. You might want to turn me down, Andy. I can hear myself in the background.
Oh, my bad.
Enzo and Big Cass versus the Vaudevillains. Obviously, both of them making their pay-per-view debuts.
Right.
Who do you think is going to win this?
My name is Enzo Amore, and I am a certified G and a bona fide stud, and you can't teach that. This right here, this is Big Cass. He's 7 foot tall, and you can't teach. They're gonna win because, as much as I like the Vaudevillains are a overly gimmicky mid-cardy gimmick. To WWE, I could see Vince going, "Ha ha, they're funny, but they'll never be in the main event, or they'll never be anything more than this." Enzo Amore and Big Cass are just incredible. They're like the greatest tag team they've got besides from New Day at the minute, so it's going to be them.
I disagree.
What in the name of God are you talking about now?
I disagree. I disagree because one of the main things that's going on right now is obviously New Day. And I think we can all agree that that is one of the most amazing success stories in professional wrestling history. They were given such an awful, terrible gimmick as baby faces, and the crowd rejected them. So they turned heel and, oh, he's gone again. He's gone again. They turned heel and they became probably the most over team in the entire, not just company, but probably industry. And they did that themselves. Everything that they do is kind of their own thing. Big E just started dancing, and that's what I mean. Like, they started everything themselves. So they are probably one of the best tag teams. Them versus Enzo and Cass would be insane to watch. And I'm not saying that it's not, but the fact of the matter is that the New Day are baby faces. Enzo and Cass are baby faces. The Vaudevillains are heels. And also, I think, yes, Cass and Enzo would be a better fit in terms of the in-ring tag team style. But I think in terms of storytelling, and I'm going off storytelling just to play devil's advocate with the gentleman who is now no longer here because his computer keeps dying. Just to play devil's advocate with that, I think that it's a more interesting fight when you've got somebody like the New Day, which are colourful, flamboyant, hilarious, and genuinely all about positivity and just doing what they want and enjoying things and doesn't care who they offend or who doesn't like it. They will do what they want. And then you've got someone like the Vaudevillains who are very straight, very disciplined, very, old-fashioned. Like, they would see the New Day as being an embarrassment, whereas I think Enzo and Cass would just be like, yo, let's just have a fight, right? That's fine. But I think from a storytelling standpoint, from a setup standpoint, watching the New Day versus the Vaudevillains, whilst maybe not the most interesting in-ring action, I think would be a more interesting match overall because of the styles, the gimmicks that go against that. I disagree with Andy saying that they're very gimmicky, they're very mid-cardy. I don't think that's true. I think that they are a great opposition to New Day because they are just so polar opposites. It's like Batman and the Joker. And that is a kind of dynamic that has always worked. When you see opposites collide, Enzo and Cass are very good, but in their own way, they're very similar to the New Day. They, again, don't care what people think. They will do what they want, and they will tell people, they're very good on the mic. They're very funny, and that's great, but they're very similar to the New Day. That's fine, but I don't think for an in-ring match, for a story, that really works because they're too similar. And it would be a little boring. On that respect, I'm saying that the action would probably be good, but the actual story probably wouldn't be as interesting. You've got the Vaudevillains, they're very hello, I nearly dropped my phone. You've got the Vaudevillains, they're very straight, very disciplined, very old-fashioned, and then you got the New Day, which just is very flat, colourful, flamboyant, and just does what they want and doesn't care who gets in the way, doesn't care who finds it offensive or doesn't find it funny. They will just enjoy what they do. So I think it's going to be the Vaudevillains because I think it makes more sense from a story point of view. I do. I really, really do. So I'm going to put my money, and I have put my money on the Vaudevillains. But I do find it a bit weird that it's actually they've had a tournament to crown the number one contender for the championship. It's not like a King of the Ring or like a Royal Rumble. It was just a random kind of, tag team tournament. It was a bit weird, but it's fine. But I hope that we actually get the New Day to defend the titles because they're not defending it tonight, as far as we're aware, and they didn't defend it at WrestleMania. I don't think they defended it at Fastlane. I'll have to double check that. I can't remember. So I don't know. I think that the Vaudevillains would be more interesting. Anyway, let's just give a quick call to our favorite Hobbit and see what's happening on his end because I think his computer's died again. So we'll find out. Is it died again?
I'm trying to use Google Chrome and it will not open.
What is with your computer?
I don't know. It's just gone mad. I don't get it.
Okay. Well, I'd offer to keep you on here, but I don't know how clear you are. So
that's all right. Don't worry about it. I'll figure this out.
Okay. Right. I'll keep going and I'll keep running down the card.
You keep going.
All right. This is interesting. All right. I told you when things go wrong, but it's all right. It's fine. We'll hang in there. We'll do our thing. Hopefully the next one will be much better. Next we have Dean Ambrose versus Chris Jericho. Is it bad of me to say I don't really care? Is that bad? I feel that's bad. I feel like a terrible person saying that. But it's fine. They're both great workers, and I think Jericho will put Dean over. And I think it's about time that Dean goes over. He's not had a pay-per-view win in about 6 months. WrestleMania was, I found, very disappointing for Dean. I'm not saying that I expected him to win, but he was just so easily beaten. That's what I found really disappointing. Like, I was hoping that an F5 onto like a pile of steel chairs and Brock goes to the pin and Dean kicks out. Like that, you don't have to have Dean win the match, but doing something of that caliber would put Dean on the map, right? Because then it's like, holy shit, not only did he just kick out of an F5, but he kicked out of an F5 onto steel chairs. That guy's insane, right? He doesn't know when to quit. He's been very badly booked. I mean, I understood at Roadblock that he wasn't going to go over because they wanted Triple H versus Roman Reigns. We knew that. He wasn't going to go over at Fastlane because they wanted Roman to win that match. He wasn't going to go over at... I think he went over at Royal Rumble, actually. I think he did go over at Royal Rumble. I might be wrong in that respect. You see, if Andy was here and he could talk, I could quickly do that, but I can't. So can someone just confirm to me, just write it in the comments or something and just let me know whether he's... Oh, he's back!
I'm on my phone, by the way.
He's on his phone. Did Dean Ambrose win his match at the Royal Rumble?
I'm going to guess no.
I can't remember. I'm going to quickly look that up. But we're talking about Dean Ambrose, Chris Jericho. What are your thoughts on that?
Ambrose has got to win one for fuck's sake. Because if he keeps losing, he's going to be ruined, completely and utterly ruined. He's got to win one.
Yeah, definitely.
Because if he doesn't, then it's just going to get ridiculous. People are going to give up on him. People will give up, and they'll just be like, "Well, I guess." Well, my phone's going mental. I guess. Well, he'll never win, so we will never support him again. And the amount of times he's been screwed over by the authority and screwed over by everyone, it's you can only do it so much until it all goes horribly, horribly, horribly wrong. Also, add Carmine.
It's Carmine here as well.
Yes,
okay,
I'm trying to get Google Chrome to work.
Don't worry, you keep talking, I'll add Carmine.
Yeah, you can only screw this guy over so many times before you just think, no, enough is enough. And the perfect way to make him over, I guess, is to beat Jericho. But Jericho's gimmick is like, I'm just burying everyone that you love. And to do that with Ambrose would be the wrong thing to do here. It would be the worst thing that they could do. But
Oh, I think we've lost your webcam.
oh, what in the name of God? Is it working?
We've lost your webcam.
Oh, God.
Oh no, you're back. You're back. Don't
Okay.
worry.
So,
God,
yeah.
today's not your day, is it?
No, you know what the funny thing was? 10 minutes before the show, everything was fine! Anyway, so,
Can you just turn it landscape instead of portrait? Because it's winding me up.
Like that, yeah?
Hang on. No, fuck it, just turn it back because you just look like you're on your side now.
Hello there, I'm upside down now!
So,
Anyway.
Carmine's here. Carmine, can you hear us?
Hey, I can hear you.
He's here. Carmine's here. Hello. Welcome.
How's it going, everybody?
I hate technology. All forms of technology can actually piss off. I would rather do this show with a tin can and bits of string. Just infinite bits of string. That would work better than this!
What is happening? What's the problem?
Oh, my laptop decided... Right,
I've had to at least do half of this show completely by myself.
Wonderful.
I'm going to restart my computer as well.
So that's fine. So we've kind of just ran over things. I'm not going to go back for a third time. I'm sorry, Carmine. We're going to have to move past all that.
I don't give a fuck.
Dean Ambrose, Chris Jericho, what are your thoughts?
This feud came out of nowhere, and I don't know what to expect because Jericho's a heel now. What? And then Ambrose is on a losing streak. What the fuck? And then what? What am I supposed to think going into this?
That's the thing, and I was saying before Andy and you came on, was that the problem is that Dean. I knew that Dean wasn't going to win at WrestleMania. I knew that. I think we all knew that. Yeah. Regardless of what we wanted, I think we knew that Brock.
Roman Reigns is going to win that match that he wasn't even in.
Yeah, Roman Reigns wins matches he's not even in anymore.
I wouldn't be shocked if that's what they do next. And the winner of the women's title match, Roman Reigns. Like, I can only imagine that is actually what's going to happen. But can everyone see me? Because I can't see myself on here. It's weird.
Yes, I can see the top half of your face.
Oh, okay. I don't know, because I don't know what people can see, because I can't see myself. My phone sucks. So, yeah.
It's a bit high up.
But, no, I think that you could have had Brock still go over at WrestleMania, but make Dean still look strong. And I said beforehand, before you came on, was one of the things he could have done was Brock could have done lovely Windows tune in the background. So it's the ambiance of the show. One of the things that they could have done was that Lesnar could have given an F5 to Dean Ambrose, and Dean Ambrose kicks out. And he does it on, like, steel chairs, and he still kicks out, because then that would put in that sort of theory that Dean Ambrose is just insane, because the guy just got F5'd onto a pile of steel chairs, and he still keeps fighting.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what they were building up to anyway. And it was just a really disappointing match, and then it kind of just stopped. There was no real ending. Like, no real comeuppance for Brock Lesnar. Like, there was no comeuppance. He just destroyed Dean Ambrose, and then he's just gone off again to live on a farm. And that's not saying that he's died. He genuinely lives on a farm. And now, apparently, him and Jericho are feuding because Dean Ambrose took over his chat show. That's the thing. And I really hope that Jericho will put Dean over. Dean needs a win. He needs a win on a big stage.
Yes.
He is desperate for a win, especially because he's lost to part-timers. His last match on pay-per-view that he won was actually at the Royal Rumble, where he beat Kevin Owens. And that was nearly, 4 months ago? Like, the guy needs a win. He needs a win. If you're trying to push him as a big star, he finally needs that win.
And, I mean, Jericho's the type of guy to do that. He swerved everyone. I punched the shit out of my microphone. He swerved everyone at WrestleMania and beat AJ Styles, but, like, I think this is one of those matches where it's like, Jericho, I know you're in a weird place right now where you're not following your own rules as a human being. Please lose.
Yes. Okay, so we're now in the second hour. I've just realised this, so I kind of just want to finish this up quickly so we can start the broadcast.
Hey!
Yes.
Yay!
So I'm just going to try and finish this up. Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens. I'm putting
I
my
don't
money
even
on
care.
Sami
That-
Zayn.
What? How can you not care? It's gonna be
No,
fucking
no,
amazing.
What I mean is, I don't care who wins. I just want to see the match.
I want this feud to literally go on forever. I was thinking about this on one of my breaks at work. This could be like this generation's Rock and Austin, where you know that these two are going to be rivals just forever.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're going to be as over as those two, no, but like they could do this forever and ever and ever and ever and ever, and you know what? I would be happy.
Right,
So-
and when we got to clarify, when people say forever and do it forever, not literally every pay-per-view, but like it's one of those feuds you can come back to and revisit anytime you want, and it'll still be perfect. I still think Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins are going to be like that too, but Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens is definitely one of those that you can latch onto, and like it'll never really get old because those two are just so fucking good, and they've already been doing it for like 10 years with each other. So
No, they haven't, because Sami Zayn was a different person.
oh yes,
El
of course.
Generico went back to his orphanage, or wherever the fuck he worked, and he does whatever he does now, which...
Right.
Ole!
Right, exactly. But that match is going to be really, really good. I just still wish that the Intercontinental Championship was part of that feud because I feel like that's a huge missed opportunity. And no one cares about Miz and Cesaro. People like Cesaro, but no one cares about that match with The Miz. Like,
Well, I mean,
Sorry.
segue.
Can I just say, because we were talking about the tag team match as well for the number one contendership. M. Gunter posted on YouTube in the comment section. He put Bubba and Devon will cost Enzo and Cass to start a feud in WWE's backwards booking since they have a clean win on them. And I think that's actually very true. I think Enzo and Cass will actually go to the Dudleys because I said I see the Vaudevillains as being a better fit for the New Day to face than Enzo and Cass. Don't get me wrong, I like Enzo and Cass. I think they've put on a very good match with the New Day, but I think from a storytelling standpoint, from a character standpoint, and I said this earlier, the Vaudevillains would be a more interesting matchup for the New Day to go up against than Enzo and Cass. Because Enzo and Cass and the New Day are actually very similar. Both teams are great talkers. They're both a bit flamboyant, a bit, they're trash talkers, and I see the Vaudevillains. The Vaudevillains, they're very straight, they're very disciplined, they're very old-fashioned, and I think that would be a better combination to go up against the New Day because they're polar opposites.
I totally see what you're saying, and I completely agree. When it like magnets, the negative end and the positive end go together, then positive and positive don't go together. But it's a little bit different with wrestling. I think Enzo and Cass versus the New Day would be a fantastic feud, and it would be so much fun to watch the Enzo and Xavier Woods fucking yelling at each other. I do see what you're saying, though, and I think in the long run, as much as it pains me to say it, it's probably better that the Vaudevillains win this time because the Vaudevillains can go on, beat the New Day, because the New Day need a break from the belts one way or another. Doesn't matter who wins this number one contenders match. The Vaudevillains go on, beat the New Day. Then you have Enzo and Cass wrap up their feud with the Dudleys. And you can even do a number one contenders match again between Enzo and Cass and the New Day, so you can still get that interaction. Mm-hmm. And then Enzo and Cass go on to fight the Vaudevillains for the titles. Whoever wins that title match is almost irrelevant. But the thing is, I feel like if the Vaudevillains win it now, Enzo and Cass won't win it for a while, and I want Enzo and Cass to win it now.
Yeah, no, I don't know. It's very difficult, but I'm sticking with the Vaudevillains.
The only way I like your plan, Liam, is if obviously Enzo and Big Cass go over on the Dudleys, because that. Well, the Dudleys just.
Yeah, they have to.
And then the Dudleys just go away forever. That'd be nice.
But to be fair, the Dudleys do put new talents over. They put the Usos over, for example.
The Usos.
Yeah, great. Nice one, Andy.
As Bret Hart would say, a good friend.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, they're going to do a 2 out of 3 with the Dudleys if that's where they go. So, like, the Dudleys will pick up a win on Raw or SmackDown, a clean win, whatever. Or maybe they cheat. I don't fucking care. But then at, like, Extreme Rules, you do a tables match, and it's the match that the Usos versus the Dudleys should have been, where Enzo and Cass put the fucking Dudleys through a table, and it's great.
Yeah, yeah. So I think going back to Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens, my money is on Sami Zayn. Dolph Ziggler versus Baron Corbin. I think it's going to be Baron Corbin. They need to put him over. They need to make him strong. I think he's going to be a big player.
I think Baron Corbin has been improving for a long time now, and I think it's time that he beats Dolph Ziggler and is established on the main roster, and that'll be fun.
I think that too.
Okay, Andy.
Thanks, Andy. Just cutting Carmine there. All right.
Sorry.
It's a lot of fun looking up your nose.
The Miz versus Cesaro Intercontinental Championship on the line. As much as it pains me to say this, my money is on the Miz. Only for this time. I think the rematch, they're probably going to have Extreme Rules. Cesaro will go over, but I think this first round will go to the Miz.
I don't know what the fuck they are doing with that title anymore, because Zack Ryder still has a rematch he hasn't gotten yet. What are they What is this? WrestleMania should have just been either Kevin Owens or Sami Zayn, whichever one you want, and then you take the Intercontinental Championship into that feud, not this fucking mess of two people that no one cares about and Cesaro.
Yeah. And you know what's sad? There's a meme going around at the moment where it says a lot can happen in 23 days, and it shows Zack Ryder winning the Intercontinental title in front of 100,000 people, although actually it was closer to around 90,000 people, but let's not get into statistics here. In front of 100,000 people, and then 23 days later, he's on, I think, Superstars or Main Event, and he's teaming with Fandango.
Good booking, guys.
That's what happens in 23 days, guys. You know, if you want to talk about...
I'm going to try this on my laptop, so I'll see you in a minute.
Okay, all right, bye. For Andy, the show's just been a complete disaster, but I've been trying to handle it fine. And then, okay, the last one, the pre-match that's going to be airing for free. I know it's not really on the main show, but we'll quickly talk on it. Kalisto, Ryback, US title. I think Ryback's going to get this one.
You know what? I kind of hope he does, because Kalisto hasn't done fucking shit.
Yeah, and I think Ryback. I know Ryback won a match against Kalisto quite recently. I think they're gonna take the belt off Kalisto, and I think they're gonna try and focus the Lucha Dragons on the tag team division again.
They should, because Sin Cara is no good on his own, and Kalisto does. I mean, they don't book him properly solo, so might as well book him as a tag team.
Kalisto could so be the next Rey Mysterio, but I just don't think they book him right.
Right, and until they learn how to do that with him, until they learn to use what they have with Kalisto, because he's so good, might as well use him in a tag team, because the tag team division's not bad right now, and that's not a waste of time for him.
I was actually going to say, it's funny that you say that, because I was going to say that WWE's prerogative right now, their focus, and they do this, like they change this every couple of months, but their focus right now seems to obviously be the world title. It's the women's title as well, and I think the tag titles, which is fine by me. I mean, those are three very different divisions. I've always had a slight issue with having two mid-card belts. I don't mind there being an Intercontinental Championship. I think that's fine to get a mid-carder over. But when there's two, I think, what's really the difference? What's the difference between a United States champion and an Intercontinental champion? I don't get what the difference is. I understand the difference between a tag team champion and a women's champion. I get that. But I don't understand how you can say, I'm going to go for the Intercontinental Championship. Oh, hang on, there's no one going for the US title. I'll jump over there. I don't understand what the difference is.
There's not really a difference, and it's not as much of a problem as that sounds. Hi, Andy. But when they have a roster as wide as WWE's, and you have so many shows, one mid-card belt leaves a lot of people with nothing to do, and we've seen what happens when talent has nothing to do. So I don't think it's too much of a problem, but they need to put a little more effort into the champions.
I see what you're saying. But I'm going to raise you, sir. I'm going to put down my trump card. Not anything to do with Donald Trump. I'll put down my trump card. Why don't they bring the Cruiserweight title back?
Well, maybe they will. Because there's that global Cruiserweight tournament going on, and no one knows what the fuck's happening with that.
Well, apparently someone has been qualified just this evening down in London. I don't know who it is. There was a picture. There was no name attached. I don't know who it is, but somebody in Revolution Pro Wrestling won a qualifying match tonight. A lot of Brits seem to be going into this, I've noticed.
Yeah, a lot of Well, it's a very diverse tournament all around because you got Rick Swann, you got Zack Sabre Jr., you got Kota Ibushi, you got people from all over the world, and I think that's fantastic. That's the best way this could have gone.
I'm genuinely excited for this. Genuinely
Yeah,
excited. And I don't know if you've noticed, but also on WWE's YouTube page, they've actually put up clips of the matches that they qualified in. So, you know, there's actually a Zack Sabre Jr. match on the WWE YouTube channel right now.
That's so cool.
It's a weird time to be a fan. It's amazing, but it's weird.
The best thing about it is that those companies benefit from that tremendously as well.
Well, they're kind of getting the rub from WWE.
Yeah.
You know? So
that'd be like if fucking Bill Gates walked up to any like programmer on the street and was like, "You're pretty cool. That's a big deal."
Yeah, and I think it's got to the point. I mean, I don't want to focus on TNA or Global Force Wrestling too much longer because I do want to get onto the broadcast. That's why Carmine's here. But you know, I think it's got to the point now where I've kind of given up on the idea that we can have two major competing wrestling organizations. TNA is just basically dead at this point. Ring of Honor, I don't think they actually have any interest in becoming the size of WWE. I think they're quite happy in the position that they're in. And I see that WWE is going to be more of like a Disney sort of, and it's weird for me to say that, but try and hold out here. They're going to be like more of a Disney sort of thing. Like they're going to be the big company that people will try and work with or for.
Yeah.
Do I make sense?
Yeah.
As opposed to people trying to compete. Like, you know, you're not going to see Revolution Pro Wrestling or Progress Wrestling try and be the WWE. I think they will be quite happy where they are, and those companies will be used to go to WWE.
Yeah, probably.
And not only that, like Disney owned Marvel, owned Star Wars, so like WWE has like NXT, and then they have like other splinter things. But
and you know they're going to do this cruiserweight thing again. This isn't going to be the first and only time. You know they're going to do it again, especially if it does well.
Yeah. And the best, and there's a rumor, by the way, with Ring of Honor, that they might be looking to buy TNA.
I've heard that rumor.
And imagine that. Imagine that.
That would be like ECW buying WCW.
Yeah. That's how insane that would be. And from Ring of Honor's perspective, that wouldn't be a bad deal. Because it's like, you get their tape library that includes a lot of their stars, by the way, like Christopher Daniels and
AJ Styles,
Frankie Kazarian, AJ Styles. Their current world champion was in TNA, right? You could use that in promo packages.
I want to throw. Can I throw a like a devil's advocate sort of, not devil's advocate, you know what the fuck I mean. Shush. There's been a lot of issues. I've had to do half the show by myself. Okay.
Sorry.
My own. Sorry. Can I just try something though? I see where you're coming from, but WWE can claim the same thing because they've got AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, Austin Aries, Bobby Roode, Eric Young. Okay, Bobby Roode's not officially signed yet, but it's going to happen. So they've got a lot of TNA's big stars. Not to mention that Sting's been there, Kevin Nash has been there, Booker T's been there, Christian's been there, Kurt Angle's been there. Don't you think that WWE is not remotely interested in possibly buying their tape library?
But here's the thing. They already work with Ring of Honor very closely. Maybe they could work out a deal if Ring of Honor buys TNA, and maybe they're waiting to see that happen and let that go through.
But that would be
maybe Ring of Honor buys like their headquarters, their space, their TV time, and all that, but then sells off their TV library or does a deal with WWE, because I'm sure WWE would love to get like the TNA years of Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, like. Imagine that on the network, like some of the great matches that TNA has had. Surprisingly, I know we give it a bad time, but they have put on some of the match of the year candidates.
When you have wrestlers like they've had, it's hard not to.
Yeah. So, and they've had big former WWE stars who have gone back, except for really Kurt Angle. Most of them have gone back to WWE.
Yeah.
They would want that tape library, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure they're at least interested in that prospect. But again, I think they would probably, instead of buying TNA themselves, they would probably wait and work with Ring of Honor if that's something that Ring of Honor is considering.
And here's the thing. knowing TNA's finances, I think they'd be happy to give it away for £1.
Let's buy it ourselves.
You know what?
There you go. We can own TNA's tape library.
Hell, you could buy probably TNA for about £5, and that's it. So, Kickstarter? No?
There you go. So that's the WWE Payback card. Are we excited? I think it's a bit too predictable. The main event.
Well, there are like branching options of what could happen in the main event, but I mean,
there are, but we know Roman's going to win the belt. He's going to walk out with the title.
Yeah, like there's a branching path of things that could happen. Most of them on the Roman Reigns winning side, but you know, there's still are Gallows and Anderson going to show up? If they do, is Finn Balor going to be with them? Yeah, you know, all these things, but at the end of the day, it's still. I don't even think that match is going to be that great. I don't know if AJ Styles and Roman Reigns' methods will work well.
Their styles will clash.
I was trying to avoid that shitty pun, but thank you. It's I don't know.
That worked.
I don't know.
But anyway, so we will finish with the Payback discussion. Of course, we're now moving into, I think, one of my favourite parts of the show. Ah, my microphone!
Why would we knock everything over? It's anarchy.
Oh, that's my most favourite thing ever. Let's knock over shit. Fuck it.
It's live. It's live. What do you expect?
I think I need to break my webcam doing that. Let's not do that again.
So of course, it's time for like the broadcast bit, and Carmine's here. So Carmine, over to you.
Well, I don't know if you guys want to talk about our weeks, but if not, we can just jump into some improv games.
Let's. Well, I want to quickly talk about my week, but only very quickly.
Okay.
Non-spoiler, right? I'm avoiding spoilers here because I know that it's not even out in America yet. Captain America. I'm avoiding spoilers. All I can say is I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Okay, good, because I'm probably going to go see it like Friday.
However...
No!
I'm going to go see it with you tomorrow, don't be a dick.
I said I'm not spoiling anything.
Oh.
I do have one issue with it, which is a spoiler, which I can't obviously talk about. There is one issue that I have that is a massive problem to me, but I cannot talk about because it's not out in America, Andy's not seen it yet, and I can't talk about it. So I want to talk about it more. I just want to say, like, no, it's a very good film, and also non-spoiler as well. Spider-Man, they finally got him right.
Yes.
They actually did him justice. The new guy who plays him, because I always said Tobey Maguire was a good Peter Parker, Andrew Garfield was a good Spider-Man, but this new guy, Tom Holland,
they were not so good.
No, vice versa, they weren't so good. Tom Holland finally nails it, and he's really young, and that's really cool to see. Like, he's so tiny and small and young. It's hilarious. It's brilliant. And he to me, when he's on screen, he steals the show straight up.
Perfect. Good.
So,
beautiful.
So I won't say much else. I mean, there is a slight issue, but I can let it go with Spider-Man. But that's all I can say. I don't know if you want me to say. It's not. Well, it's kind of spoilerish.
No.
No. All right.
I
just give
I
me a
do
really
want
stern look.
a super simple, no explanation. Black Panther, thumbs up, thumbs down.
For me, I didn't really see what the big deal about Black Panther was. I was more excited for Spider-Man.
I mean, I'm super excited for Spider-Man, but I want to see what they do with Black Panther because he's getting his own movie soon.
I think that's kind of just personal taste. I thought he was okay. I didn't really particularly find him that amazing, but I didn't find him that dull. Ant-Man was great in it, although I don't like his new look. He's got a new helmet. That's my only issue.
Okay.
So, but he was very good, and there's something that happens that I was so glad that they finally did with Ant-Man, and that's all I can say. Oh my god, what is the point of me talking about this when I can't talk about it?
Yeah,
stop. Okay, we need to stop. Stop it.
Stop.
No,
Okay.
no more.
All right.
I do want to quickly plug something that happened this week that I made this week. There's a new Suplah Let's Play on the Suplah's channel. Go check it out. It's me and Brooks in the second episode of Suplah 2-player. We play Left 4 Dead 2, and it's good. I really like how it came out.
I've never played Left 4 Dead, or Left 4 Dead 2, or 3, or 5.
There's only 2. Have
right.
you seen the video yet?
I have. It's brilliant.
Okay.
I also have Team Fortress.
Great, Andy, it's his own show. He helped create this. Did you see the stuff that they're posting on our channel? No. No, I didn't.
I've been working today. Some people have to work for a living.
And I don't. I work more hours than you.
I know. That's why I immediately regret saying that to the.
It's almost like we all have jobs anyway.
Also, Andy, I think can we announce something that might be happening in a couple of months?
No, not yet.
Can I not hint at it?
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Fucking hinted
It's
it.
not like it's really related to the channel.
Well,
Okay.
Well, there's some news that me and Andy and possibly
Are expecting, yay!
are expecting. Yes, no, something is happening, and let's just say that the Suplah could be under one roof. That's the only hint that I can give. That's the only
some
hint.
of us.
You up?
Some of us. Me
Some
and
of
Brendan are not moving to England.
Yeah, nice. Thanks there, Carmine. Just basically spell it out for everyone. Spell it out.
How was that?
Out for you. MOVE. Move.
What was more obvious about that than we might be under the same roof soon?
Well, I don't know.
How
you
was
don't know what
yours
it
more
means.
subtle?
You don't know what I meant. Don't tell me what I meant, bro.
Oh,
Anyway.
you're getting an office, right?
That's what it could have been. You don't know.
Hmm.
You don't know.
We're going all professional and shit.
Yeah, man.
Right.
I bought a new microphone that I knocked over a minute ago.
I made a cup of tea.
Oh God, you got a blue snowball?
Yeah, why? Do you know what that is?
I tried getting one of those once, and it didn't. It was a fucking $80 paperweight.
Really? Mine was £60 and it's fine.
It didn't work for me. There's an
Oh.
issue. I don't know what it is. There's
Fuck.
it's a very common issue with blue snowballs, and that's why I'll never try to buy one again. Where the specific cable for it, because it's got a very unique cable, and sometimes with certain versions of Windows, it just doesn't work. It won't fucking cooperate. It won't do anything. And I happen to have one of those versions of Windows, and it's a piece of shit.
So basically, Windows can go fuck itself.
That's the
No.
lesson of today's show.
Yeah. I'm gonna go buy an Apple Mac.
No, Blue, the company that makes that microphone can go fuck themselves because they didn't reprogram the Snowball microphone to work with those versions of Windows.
No, Carmine. Let's just blame Windows for this because I want
Let's
to blame
just
Windows.
Donald Trump for this.
There we go.
Yes, Donald Trump. So, of course, I think it's time. Well, actually, I don't know why I'm doing this. I'm not the MC anymore. It's hour 2. It's Carmine's show now.
Yeah.
Ha ha ha.
What about my week?
Carmine's
What
show.
about my week? I do
No one
things.
cares about you.
Oh.
Yeah, well, I mean, Andy, if you had anything interesting to talk about.
I motivated someone.
Just straight out. Just no. Doesn't even beat around it. Just literally go straight into the main plot point.
Fuck it. That was my week. That was the best thing I did all week, to be honest. Well, actually, it wasn't. But I can't tell you what the best thing was. Not yet. I need to work it all out. But yeah, that was a thing that happened. So.
Hey,
boobs.
we're not just glazing over this. Care to explain?
I would, but my thing has crashed again.
What do you mean? What's that got to do with anything? You can still talk, can't you? I think he's gone. We'll never know. We'll never know the end of that story.
You know, I don't know what to say to him sometimes.
He doesn't work into a story. He's not a storyteller. He doesn't go, well, I went out and I met a girl and then I put my face in between her breasts. He just goes straight into the main plot point.
Fuck.
Oh, God. How was your week, Carmine? May as well talk about you while Steve comes back and can explain the story.
It's been okay. I discovered a new stand-up comedian that I'd never heard of before, and I want to give him a shout-out. For anyone who has Netflix, look up John Mulaney. He's a very fucking funny dude, and he takes full advantage of the fact that he is a skinny, nerdy white dude, and it is fucking hysterical.
So I'm back. Hello.
Hi. What the hell happened there?
Andy, can you just throw your fucking windows out of the window itself? Window
I
section.
was going to. No, my Firefox decided to just go into non-responsive mode and crash. So, no.
Great. Seeing that we're on Google Hangout through Google Plus, why don't you use Google Chrome?
Google Chrome won't open.
Why?
I don't know. I've clicked it 800 times. It still has yet to open one window.
It's just not Andy's day.
No.
Apparently
So
He had the best day of his life by just motorboating someone last night, and then now all
what
this.
happened was I went out and I didn't have that much to drink. The
Right.
only reason I felt so awful was because, well, one, I was really sleep deprived. Because I was just being sociable. And I had like 2 drinks, and then they're like, "Let's go to the nightclub." I was like, "No, I've got to get up and go to work tomorrow." Like, just go anyway, you pussy. Like, fine. So
Wow, you don't put up much of a fight.
so we went, and I was like, well, I was only there for half hour, 45 minutes or something, and then I literally got back home at like 1:30. So I got like 6 hours sleep, which is all right.
Oh, I thought that like the main point of the story hadn't happened yet by the time you got home, so I was like, where the fuck is this going then?
No. So we go in, and everyone's like dancing and stuff, and I'm doing the fucking dab because that's what I do. And then my mate was dancing with this woman, and then this woman goes, "Oh my god, you're really small," and I was like, "Yes, I know that. You're the perfect height for." And before I knew it, her hand is there, my face is in her breasts, and I'm just like, this is the greatest moment of my life. I actually think I saw Narnia and the meaning of life. It was glorious. It was the greatest. What the fuck are you doing with your hair? It was the glorious.
It got stuck.
It was the greatest day of days.
Are you not going to explain what you found out this morning?
What did you find out this morning, Andrew?
What did I find out this morning?
I don't know.
Oh,
Andy, let me say, Andy. I've noticed this about Andy. Andy doesn't go for typical women. Andy likes women who are in a relationship.
Oh, Jesus.
Drunk
Andy likes
Andy.
women.
Drunk Andy is an asshole. Sober Andy is
as we know, as he tried to motorboat my own girlfriend whilst I was standing there, right? Just
Andrew!
I was drunk. She gave me whiskey. What do you want me to do?
Oh, no, hang on. This isn't the end of the story. This isn't the end of the story, right? So Andy likes to get with women who are in relationships. He likes to get with women who are married, as I'm sure anyone who can listen to the show from 2 years ago, the Lincoln incident, where he got with a married woman and then started proclaiming, "Fuck Ken Shamrock, I'm the baddest man on the planet."
That's my favorite part of the fucking story. Oh my god.
Anyway, Andy found out something this morning. He can now add mothers to the list of women that he's attracted to. Mothers.
How did this information?
Up 3.
That was the thing.
How did this information come up?
Because I'm not gonna say who, but my mate slept with her. So.
Well, at least you're not that guy.
Yeah, at least I'm not that guy. But I was just like, "Oh, cheers for giving me that fucking piece of information, mate." And it's like, "Oh, great, awesome." So yeah, that happened.
I love how your friend's the one who slept with the mother of 3, and yet he still felt the need to ruin your day. That's amazing.
Also, is Liam eating cereal without milk? Like,
No,
out of
why?
the box?
What is that?
That's Cocoa Pops. He's eating Cocoa Pops without milk. You're a fucking animal! What's wrong with you?
Have you not had them without milk?
It's like that one fucking live show
I'm
where
not
he
a
just...
fucking weirdo!
What the hell?
It's cereal!
Are you sure about that, Andy?
Yeah, but with milk! What the hell? What are you doing?
You can have them dry.
I know we've gone from talking about tits and milk, but God, what the fuck?
You can have them dry.
That was a hell of a stretch there, Andy.
Thank you. It was a bit of a stretch. So
Motorboating to cereal. Wait, there's a milk connection.
there we go. Segues.
Sure.
So yeah, that was. I mean, other things have happened, but I can't discuss them just yet. So we'll wait. So my song of the week. Are we doing that or not?
Are we? Because this isn't being recorded for iTunes, so
Oh,
it's not
yes,
like I
I
can
know
put
this,
it in
yeah.
there.
So no song of the week this week, and I'm a terrible human being when I'm drunk. Also, Zambuca tastes like this.
To be fair to Drunk Andy, she did it to you.
Yeah, I had no say in this.
Is that technically rape?
No.
I don't know.
I love how he's not even convinced. Like, I don't think so. I mean, I'm no lawyer.
No, because she forced him to do it. Andy might not have wanted to do that.
Oh no! When I'm doing, yeah, no, I really don't want to fucking do it, do I? Jesus.
I don't know.
I went back in.
You went
There
back
you go.
in.
There you go.
What's wrong with you? I had to go. I went in. I needed some fucking fresh air. And then I need some fresh air, and you know.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
You're like a
And it's crashed
sitcom
again.
character.
No, wait, it hasn't.
It
I'm like a real
pulled out
sitcom
a little
character.
bit. But yeah, you're like a fucking character off of Seinfeld or some shit. The weird
Quanfeld.
shit that happens to you. Yeah, Quanfeld. There you go. That's Brooks. We got to start producing Quanfeld now. Get ready for that.
Oh man, that was good.
Yeah, so we can start playing some improv games now that we've all gone through a
Yes.
quick story from our weeks. And I feel like a good game to start off with would be some improv story time, just to warm up. Get the
That's a good one. Can we theme it
Creative juices
around
flowing.
wrestling and WWE and Payback?
Can we do it around motorboating?
No, fuck off.
Andy, if you somehow find a way to connect the two, more power to you.
Beautiful. That is my challenge.
We will start with a rotation. Oh, for anyone who's unaware, because I know not everyone watching this necessarily listens to the broadcast, but you should. It's on iTunes. This is the classical improv game where we try to tell a cohesive story one word at a time in a specific rotation. And I think we should start with the rotation of Andy, me, and then Liam.
Let's do it. I'm
So
writing it down.
I-
I'm writing it down as well.
Oh, you're writing it down. Okay.
Yeah, I'm
No,
writing it down.
I'm not writing it down. I don't have a pen. Oh wait, I do have a pen. Hey, it's fun. Right, so
Thank God you've not got a fucking brain teaser going on here then. Freaking riddle. Go on.
it's crashed. Fuck me. In the...
Oh my fucking
Right,
God.
oh, Google Chrome's open. Hooray!
Right, and he's gone. Right, he's gone. And you should see the face that it's left on as well. It's a beautiful face.
Fucking
Okay,
great.
so whilst he's gone, I guess I can. I don't know. I know we can't edit it in, but my song of the week, because I don't know what else we can do until he comes back.
Sure, why not?
My song of the week is a song called "Boss's Daughter" by, I think it's called Pop Rock. I'm not sure. Let me double check.
Pop rock?
Hang on. Pop Evil, sorry. Boss's Daughter by Pop Evil. It's kind of like my guilty pleasure at the moment.
Is it like a song that most people wouldn't necessarily like?
They're a little Nickelback-ish, I'm afraid.
Ah, I
And
see.
it's a song that's got the lyrics, "Just let me come inside." And it's
So
called
subtle.
Boss's Daughter. Yeah.
The art of subtlety.
The singer says he has a degree in sex. That's kind of the lyrics. I'm not proud of it, but...
Is this literally like written by Triple H?
I thought you were going to say by Andy for a second, but... That's the
What
sort of thing-
boss's daughter is Andy getting with?
Oh, good. I didn't realise the connection. I thought you were connecting to the lyrics, the overly sexual lyrics. I didn't realise you were connecting to the Boss's Daughter title. I
That too.
get the reference now.
You know, the
Guys.
sad thing is, I'm a horrible person because instead of Triple H, the first name that came to my head was Randy Savage.
Oh, Jesus, Carmine.
I feel bad about that.
That's bad. That is bad.
But, yeah, also, Andy doesn't have a degree in sex.
He doesn't... He's... Oh, my God, he's just a twat.
Great.
That's the best I can say. It's the only thing I
call
can
for
say.
2 minutes, and it's like, oh, what a fucking idiot! I hate him so much.
I'll say this to his face.
I'm sure you do.
But so that's my song of the week. If you're interested, go and listen to it after the show. Don't leave the show yet.
No,
Go
of course, stay
after
here.
the show. What about you, Carmine? Have you got a song of the week?
I do. I'm gonna go with a Kanye West song that features Rick Ross, Jay-Z, and Nicki Minaj. It's called Monster. I've listened to it recently, and it's so good. I know you don't listen to a lot of rap, Liam, but for anyone who does, Nicki Minaj's verse is so fucking good. I've almost memorized it. It's so good. But yeah, I'd say that's my song of the week. And with that,
Nicki Minaj.
She's not bad, actually.
She sings a song about a penis.
And
it's just she's like, what is the song? I can't even remember. It's something about a snake that's supposed to be about a penis.
Anaconda?
But I'm trying to think of the lyrics. It's my thinking face. What's it called? Like, I don't know. It's just shit.
Well, Anaconda's a bad song, but the rest of her stuff is actually pretty good.
Oh no, there's a really bad one. There is a bad one. It's called Stupid Ho.
I don't think I've heard that one, but I've heard of it.
That's like the most disliked song on YouTube.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, actually, can I get your opinion? Sorry, just changing topic real quick. I want to get your opinion. Ghostbusters, the remake. What do you think?
Oh, the all-female cast one?
Yes.
I don't know what to think of that yet. I feel like, is it literally just going to be a total retelling of the first plot?
I really hope not.
Yeah, that's my thing. If it's going to be that, then that's not good. But if they're just going to do the fucking like alternate universe or whatever, or maybe there's a new Ghostbuster squad since the old one in the 80s, that's fine as long as they do something original. I don't necessarily like all the actresses involved.
Andy's just come and then he's just left again.
I saw that. Yeah, he was on his phone and he was like, "I don't, everything's kind of shaky," and then he left again. So
I think it's just we didn't acknowledge him.
Oh, boo boo hoo. But yeah, if I'm not crazy about Melissa McCarthy and everyone involved, but it could be fine as long as you do something original. If they do a total retelling, then it's kind of already like it's doomed from day one, you know?
My problem is you look at the trailer and it just looks crap.
Does
you know what I
it?
mean? It looks like a total 2010 comedy. You know what
Great.
I mean?
I'm alive.
He's alive. So should we do the improv story time now that he's here and we've finished?
Guess what happened?
Oh,
What happened then? What crashed?
Google Chrome.
Andy, can you just update your fucking stuff?
I do. It's all up to date. All right, we need a new Kickstarter. Get Andy a new laptop.
How old is your laptop, Andy?
About 4 or 5 years old.
That's it shouldn't be that bad for being 4 or 5
It's
years
a
old.
Macintosh too. Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the reason why. Yeah, nice one.
Oh, Jesus.
Right,
All
so
right,
do improv story time.
Yeah, let's do this.
Yes. So let's refresh quickly. The rotation is Andy, then me, then Liam.
Yes.
So Andy, you can
Okay.
start it off whenever you're ready.
All right. Windows.
It's not WWE themed, but alright.
It's fine. We'll figure it out.
Crashed.
Spaff.
New sentence. WWE.
WWE.
Uses.
Windows.
Spaff.
New sentence.
Okay.
McMahon.
Sat.
On.
Romans.
Dog.
New sentence.
That's not where I thought that was gonna go.
Romans.
Dog.
Harry.
Motorboated.
Fucking dog.
Stephanie?
Vagina. Stephanie's vagina.
End story.
Whoa! 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 That took a turn down Bestiality Street, and that's not okay.
Okay. So for those who were not aware of the story there, Windows crashed Spaff. WWE uses Windows Spaff. McMahon sat on Roman's dog. Roman's dog Barry motorboated Stephanie's vagina.
Wow.
What the actual fuck has this show become? What is this?
Right. Okay. Should we do another one?
I
Yeah.
guess.
What's the rotation this time, Carmine?
Let's do me, and then Andy, and then Liam.
Okay. I think Carmine wants to go first. We can try and steer steer the direction of the story.
Jesus Christ.
Okay.
All right. Let's start with Ambrose.
Likes.
Harry.
The
Motorboating.
Dog.
Yay! We did it again!
the motorboating cinematic universe, I guess. I'm lightheaded. I'm nervous where this is going to go. Barry.
Guessing this is a new sentence then.
Oh, yeah, new sentence. Barry.
Harry.
I can see it on the screen.
Just say your words!
Hates.
Roman.
Despite
Being.
A.
dog.
Sentence.
Leave me a lot there.
Barry.
Is this me?
Yeah.
Orgasm.
It's a dog! It's a fucking dog!
I mean, it's not like it's physically impossible, but the story's getting very weird. On
Rest of his face.
On.
Roman.
oh,
Yeah, he sounded like that actually.
Mum.
Oh god. Right, the end. End story. Done.
oh,
Okay.
oh no.
Ambrose likes Barry, the motorboating dog. Barry hates Roman, despite being a dog. Barry orgasmed on Roman's mum.
So Barry's a shithead, and Ambrose likes him for no reason.
Oh yeah, oh, that's what this was about. Not an orgasming dog. Like
It doesn't matter what we start with. Everything's just gonna go to shit, isn't it?
Should we try one more time to do a legitimate story?
It's not going to happen.
I feel like we've missed that opportunity at this point. But let's start with Liam, and then me, and then Andy.
Okay.
Okay.
Payback.
Will
B.
Barry's.
Debut.
Against
Renee.
Zellweger.
new sentence.
I thought you were going to say Renee Young.
No.
Okay.
That's where people wanted it to go, and they swerved it.
Is it? Did people want this to go anywhere? Did people want this at all?
Okay, new sentence. The.
What?
The, as in the.
The?
Like THE.
Yes, I got it. The.
Oh, gotcha, yes.
Match. Oh, wait, it's Liam's turn.
Oh, okay. I'll go with match.
Will.
B.
A.
Steal. Oh, Andy, please.
Motorboating.
Painful.
Contest. I don't even understand how that works.
Are you just gonna get like?
Do you just
New
motivate steal?
New
Okay,
sentence.
Yeah, yeah.
Barry.
I can just see the pain in Carmine's eyes right now.
I don't know what to do.
Wins.
Fire.
Spaff. The end.
That's not even what I was thinking. Anyway, so that story. This is the story that. This is our third and final story.
This is a 3-arc story.
Three.
We'll start from the beginning.
It's like you said. It's the motorboating cinematic universe, my friend.
Exactly.
Fuck.
Payback will be Barry's debut against Renee Zellweger. The match will be a steel motorboating contest. Barry wins via spaff.
The rules of a steel motorboating contest are very unclear.
I don't think we're going to go over the rules of this said contest, but...
Do we?
How the fuck would it work? Just
Why don't you
a
explain
cage.
that, Andy, since you kind of shoved motorboating in there?
I didn't do anything. Well, I did, but... Anyway, moving on. What's the next segment?
Sometimes I really hate you, Andy. Let's do some... Let's play Roll With It. This is a game we haven't played in a long time, but for those of you who do remember, this is a game where we will each take turns telling our own improv story. However,
Okay.
we have to keep talking non-stop for 2 minutes.
2
And-
minutes. Okay.
And the other two players get to choose what sentence starts our story.
Okay. Okay.
So let's have Andy go first. So Liam, what should his first sentence be?
Barry, the motorboating dog.
Oh, I immediately regret this.
There you go. So I'll pull up a timer real quick.
Ugh.
And Andy will have to tell a non-stop 2-minute story about Barry the motorboating dog.
Really? Okay.
Is this a new character? Is this like Barry's pet dog, Barry? Is that what we were doing here?
Yes,
Barry's
yes,
pet
that's
dog,
what it is.
Barry.
Barry the motorboating dog. Done. That's canon. Write it down! So, right, let's do this. Don't know what
All
I'm
right.
pointing at. Wait.
Start your story in 3, 2, 1.
Barry, the motorboating dog, belonged in the circus, and his great skill was motorboating. He went all over the world, motorboating as many different women as he could.
Andy, sorry. Andy, your voice is just—it's so robotic. I'm not gonna
Really?
lie. Yeah, it's a really bad connection.
Yeah, I feel like you're about to like explode any second
Yeah,
now.
you've turned into
really?
Ulquan.
Okay, 1 minute.
Come on, do me. I'll have a go whilst he sorts himself out.
Okay. Let's have you start your sentence off with something as far away from dogs and Barry as possible.
Barry the motorboating dog.
We'll save that for Andy.
Okay.
Let's have you tell a story starting with. Chuck Norris just walked into my house.
Into your house or my house?
Your house. You're the one telling the story.
Okay. So
start in 3, 2, 1, go.
So Chuck Norris walked into my house, and I was a bit confused. I was like, Chuck, why are you here? And he was like, Liam, have you met my friend Barry, the motorboating dog?
God damn
it! I'm like, why no, Chuck? No, I haven't. Why is he the motorboating dog? And he goes, well, basically, he hangs out with a guy called Andrew Kwan. Andrew Kwan? I know Andrew Kwan. And he goes, yeah, he's a twat, isn't he? And I'm like, yes, he is, Chuck. Okay, actually, Chuck, I wouldn't say he's a twat. No, you wouldn't. I'd say, no, he's not a twat. He's a cunt. I think he cocked up a little bit there. But he's like, oh, okay, well, how do you know Andy? And I go, well, look, if you live in this area, you just know Andy because he's just a bit of a dick. And then he was like, oh, yeah, so he Barry, the motorboating dog, he went out with Andy. And I go, I went out, as in, like, they were in a relationship? He's like, yeah, they went in a relationship. I'm like, no, they weren't. And Andy starts shaking his head, because he's now apparently shown up in the story. And Andy's he's like, hey, Liam. And I'm like, oh, hey, what are you doing here? And he's like, oh, I came to see my friend, Barry, the motorboating dog. And then Barry just goes, hello. It's like, what the fuck? Barry can talk? Wait, what? And then we're like, so wait, Barry can talk now? And Chuck's like, I've never heard him talk. And then we all just stop and stare at Barry. And Barry starts being a bit scared, and then he shits on the floor. And no one's quite knowing why he just sits on the floor, but he does. And anyway, I'm like, Chuck, you got to clean that shit up. And he's like, I'm not cleaning that shit up. And Andy's like, no, don't worry, guys. I will clean it up. So Andy picks up Barry, the motorboating dog's shit, and then he starts moisturizing his face with the shit. Just all over his face, and enjoying the texture of the poo. And then we start to get a bit creeped out, so then we tell Andy to leave. And,
luckily, your time is up.
I don't rub shit all over myself, you weird bastard.
That somehow went from Chuck Norris to bestiality to shit fetishes. I don't.
Welcome to the Suplah.
Yeah. This is a fun place. We're happy here.
I'm done.
Oh.
Right, should we do Andy's story now that he doesn't sound like Ulquan anymore?
Yeah. So, Andy, get ready to retell your story about your girlfriend Barry, the motorboating dog.
Okay.
Fuck.
All right. You ready to go?
3. What do I do with my life? 3, 2, 1, go.
Barry, the motorboating dog, belonged to the circus, and his great skill and act, or her, or it, whatever it is, its great skill was motorboating.
Right.
Barry went all over the world motorboating as many different women as possible as a part of his act, and then he got shot out of a cannon whilst motorboating. How?
What?
I don't know. Don't ask. And Barry could also talk. And he goes, hello. And that's what Barry did. I met Barry on a night out once in a pub. Why the dog was there, I don't know. But I fell in love as a pet. And I decided to adopt Barry as my pet after it decided to run away from the circus because it didn't want to be on show all the time. Going, they didn't want to do that anymore. So Barry and I became great companions. And Barry decided it wanted to go on Tinder to find more women to motorboat. And it decided to add a profile, and its bio was, "I can talk, and I also can motorboat. Please, please
What more do you
swipe
need
right.
out of a dog?
I just love bitches. It's a dog." So yeah, that was the thing, and it was a bit weird because Barry the motorboating dog actually got more dates on Tinder than I did, which is a bit weird, and it was a bit odd how a dog was getting more action than me. But yeah, that's the thing that happened, and Barry, sadly, tragically, passed away very early on in its life because it got so happy motorboating that it just kind of collapsed and just kind of stopped. So Barry is no longer my dog.
Please stop. Your time is over.
There you go.
Oh God.
Holy fucking shitballs.
What did I even just say?
Well, I think we can officially confirm that we've started the Barry the Motorboating Dog cinematic universe tonight. Because he's been in 4 different adventures. Or 5 now, actually. 5 different adventures.
He's got his own fucking backstory and like. Thank God I can't make dogs in Suplah Brawl.
Barry the Motorboating Dog is a more developed character than Megan Fox in Transformers.
He's definitely a more developed character than Apollo Crews.
Oh Jesus! Don't. I was ranting about him before you guys came on.
Hey, wait, that could be someone that Barry could motorboat.
Apollo Crews?
Yeah, why not?
I love how in your story that he left the circus because he didn't want to motorboat again, and then he joins Tinder to motorboat.
I think the thing is he didn't want to be forced to motorboat. He wanted it to be fun again.
Yeah, that's where I was going with that.
But what doesn't make sense is that he gets paid to be motorboating, and then he's like, "No, I'd rather run away and do it for free."
It's a stupid story about a dog.
I think Barry had CM Punk syndrome, where it just wasn't fun anymore. You know, he wasn't feeling it anymore. He had to get away from it all.
Oh, I see.
I have
no
idea.
Terms.
Okay, Andy, you need to give Carmine his story.
I just compared a motorboating dog to CM Punk.
Yeah,
yes,
that happened.
Okay, so your sentence is take it, it's a fish.
Oh my God, Janie is gonna love this. If she's still watching, I don't know if she is.
No, she's probably dumped you.
There's that. All right, well, I guess I'll start my story now. Take it, it's a fish. This was Andrew Kwan's favorite thing to say to women he met on Tinder. Needless to say, it never worked out in his favor. However, his companion, Barry, the motorboating dog...
Don't be a dickhead.
Was able to give him plenty of Tinder advice. Because all he had to do was say that he could talk and motorboat, and it got him plenty of action. So Andy decided to follow in Barry's footsteps. He took it a little too literally at first and tried to walk on all fours, but once Barry boiled it down for him, he realized what he had to do. He had to just brag about his motorboating skills. And at first it was a little awkward in bars and such, because, you know, it's not something people say to each other. But one day he got lucky. There was a woman dancing with a friend of his, and he just so happened to walk up to her and say, "I can talk and also I can motorboat." And it worked out. And the woman took Andy's head because he was the perfect short height and just pushed him into her breasts. And Andy was ecstatic. He couldn't have been happier. All of his dreams had finally come true, except for the streak ending. But, you know, it's a step. And so this woman was so thrilled with Andy's motorboating skills that she was considering taking him home for the night. But then Barry showed up. And Barry felt the need to one-up Andy, because while he wanted to help his friend out, he couldn't resist his motorboating urges, because that's what he does, because he's a fucking dog that does this. And so the woman was so impressed by this dog's motorboating skills that she took Barry home instead. But luckily, Andy was able to go home with his friend that night, so it all worked out in the end, and my time's up.
Oh my God, this dog. This is the best character we've ever come up with.
No, it's not. It's the most disgusting, weird thing I think I've ever done.
Oh, right. With
But-
that,
Yeah, that was a good spending of my evening.
I don't know if there's any more. I mean, we can push this to a little bit longer if anybody wants. Is there any more?
I think this is a good way to wrap it up with Barry.
The motorboating dog.
Oh, we're not doing cards.
Oh my god.
No,
No, we haven't
that
got
was
enough
way
time.
too
We're,
long.
we're already we're already over time now.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, saying that, I had to start late because of Andy, but we're technically at the 2-hour mark now. So with that in mind, of course, we've got Payback tonight. Enjoy the show. The pre-show starts in about 53 minutes, according to my clock. Are you guys excited? Let us know in the comments. Thank you for joining us on this live Suplah. It has been a bit of a train wreck. I did my very, very best to try and keep it together. There's only so much one person can do on our second live show on YouTube, by the way.
Yeah.
There's only so much one person can do to try and entertain an audience. I did my very best. I greatly apologise. Blame Andy, because he's the one who kept coming in and out of the conversation. But enjoy Payback. Let us know what you think. We'll be on very soon again to give us give a review, a very short review of what we think of the show, of the matches, and we'll also be doing, I'm hoping, to be introducing a show called Camp Suplah, the Camp WWE review show. I know the show debuts tonight, but it's going to be like 4 a.m. in England, and I'm sorry, I'm not that committed to watching it. So we will get round to it within the next couple of days. Until then, thank you very much for joining us. I have, of course, been Liam Dunn.
And I... Oh. You can go next.
I've been interrupted, Carmine Antonelli.
And I've been Andy Quadden.
And we will see you later. Thank you. Bye-bye. Never mind. I'm playing the outro, but no one can hear it, so I don't know why I just did that. There you go. Everyone do it. Everyone
my
do it.
singing debut!
I had to try and do all this, otherwise.
I blame Barry.
And
Are we?
goodbye.
Bye.
Ta-ta.
For now.
I'm gonna go make tea.
Great. I'm gonna go eat food.
We're still on. Why are we still here?
I'm waiting. This is the awkward part where we don't know how to end the show.